button.
Yay! And it looks like we're live.
Oh, this is so exciting. We're live, Nicole. We're live on Facebook and on Zoom and Word. This is how you know that I don't do drama because this type of thing excites me. I'm super excited that our Zoom to Facebook Live. It's the little things. It's the little things. But we are here, we are live, and I am super excited. I am super excited to share you, Nicole, with my entire Facebook audience. We are talking about your brilliance, women's brilliance, entrepreneurs' brilliance, and how they can be the answer. So, first, I want to introduce you to my audience. Everybody, this is my soror sister friend, Nicole Roberts Jones. She is the founder of Bankroll Your Brilliance. She's the founder of NRJ Enterprises, and she really is a catalyst, a key. She's brilliant when it comes to helping women create businesses and make multiple revenue streams. And I'm one of those people. And so she has these amazing experiences that we want to get more reach. We want more reach and more people to know about these experiences because this is what when has there ever been more of a perfect time for a woman to branch out, right, on her own to create another stream of income? This is like prime time, but the issue is getting someone to help you do that because this could be a great time, but if you have no strategy, if you have no clarity, if you don't have any of those things, it's not going to work. So I'm going to talk first. Well, Nicole, is there anything you want to say before I get into how
I'm just excited to be here. Listen, since COVID, I haven't been able to see you in person. So I'm just excited to even be here, look, touching and agreeing virtually. So no, I'm good, girl. I'm gonna follow your lead. I know, right?
I'm about to do my Nettie and my silly handshake because it has been too long. It has been too long, and I miss you, but I'm happy to see your face here. So I will talk about first about how I met you, came to know you, and how I worked with you. So when I moved to Boston in 2015, I was looking for my people. I was like, where are my people? And by my people, I mean Christian entrepreneurs, connectors, just where are my people? And so I went into a group that I was a part of, that I am a part of, Kamika's Boss Network, Kamika Smith, shout out to Kamika Smith, to her Boss Network, and was looking for people who were in the Boston area. And I landed and happened upon Nicole, my sorority sister. And so Nicole and I got together in the city. We started talking. We found our synergies. I told her about some of the things that I was thinking of, some of the things that I had already done, but wasn't financially successful at. Really needed some help to figure out how to become financially successful at some of these ideas that I had. And so one of the things that Nicole told me was, go where people are asking you. If people are asking you to do something, or if people are seeking out your knowledge in a particular thing, that is where you have a business.
Mm-hmm.
And so just because it's a passion project, just because you love to do it, does not mean that that's what you ought to be doing. It doesn't mean that you're going to make money that way.
And can look, and let me interrupt Kristen, because let me tell you, Kristen is a servant leader, y'all. So she was giving away her intellectual property for free. And for me, when I hear that, and this was our first lunch, okay, so I could have offended her, right? So that's like nails on the chalkboard for me. It's like, you did what? You doing what? So I just have to say, after that meeting and really going in and really saying, girl, wait, hold on, what'd you just say? And you
And
were
I
willing to
needed that. Right? I needed all of that because I'm a giver and I want to give, but at the same time, like, the way to give more, honestly, is to have the wealth to give more. You know what I
Yes.
mean? Like, you're able to give more when you have the bandwidth and you have the money to dedicate the time to give away to other people. If you have to work 9 to 5, 9 to 9 for the
Mm,
money, you're not going to have as much space if the money is working for you when
right.
you're asleep, or when you are with your family. So that is a help that I needed because I had invested a lot of money when I met you, Nicole. Had invested a lot of my own money into building a business that still wasn't yet profitable. And so I shared with you about my career as a journalist, as an anchor. And so we talked, and I told you about how, I received so many opportunities for people who need coaching into the journalism field, coaching as a mentor, and all of these different places. And I want to reach all these people,
Mm-hmm.
but didn't know how. And so working with Nicole, I was able to get clarity on what it was that what people were asking of me and how I could package that and offer it and serve people and how I could make money off of it. And so for me, that was an online course that equipped aspiring and emerging journalists on how to get a job in front of and behind the camera, something that I can do and I know and can teach in my sleep. And so working with Nicole helped me to put together a moduled course, a multi-moduled course that would take someone from start A to Z on how to be equipped to get a job on air or behind the scenes. And so that is how the OnAir Academy was born. And the OnAir Academy during COVID, during 2020, tripled its enrollment. And then I also signed my first 5-figure agreement with Harlem Children's Zone to teach their high school students television broadcasting.
Mm-hmm.
And prior to you, Nicole, I didn't have a roadmap. I didn't really have a strategy for how to take what I know, what people were coming to me for, and put it and package it in a way that other people could purchase it.
Mm-hmm. 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 And I have,
So yeah.
and the thing that I love, first of all, let me just say this. So if you guys see me looking to the side, I'm looking at the live. So I'm looking for your comments. So if, as we
Yes,
share, first of
please.
all, say hi, because I see some people are here. And look, I'm a sister girl. So this is what I consider like happy hour. So say hello, number one. Number
Please
two,
say
if you have a
hello.
question,
Please leave your comments and your questions for Nicole.
please. So just know if I look over here, I'm looking for questions, comments. So the thing I love about Kristen is, so we became instant girlfriends, okay, at that lunch. And the thing I love about Kristen is she never said, hook me up, can I get a discount? So I have open enrollment periods and she paid full price. And I looked, I saw her name in enrollment. I was like, ah! And I text her, And so I want to say the thing that I love about Kristen is she's willing to invest in herself. And when I say invest in herself, she bets on herself. You will risk it all to gain it all. And so every time I see you do different things, I'm like, yes, you're taking big, bold risk. And it is the woman that's willing to get out there and take the risk that really becomes successful. And when I had the pleasure to work with you, and I want some of you guys, this is where you are, and this is why I'm sharing it. It's not that you're not brilliant. It's not that you don't have this 20 year, this 15 year, this however many year under your belt in your industry. It's not that. What happens is if you don't have, like Kristen said, strategy on how to take the intellectual property that you've been doing, many of you are autopilot. You don't even realize what you're doing. And so it's almost like it's in your blind spots. And so you need someone that can help you. You guys know what a blind spot is, right? When you're driving, you have a rear view mirror, but they still tell you to turn all the way around and look. You need somebody to say, girl, this whole blind spot right here. And so with you, Kristen, that's all I did was show you your blind spots. It's like, hey, hold on, right? Because we take for granted what we know because we're on autopilot. So before, when I met Kristen and she was saying she was talking to people and mentoring them, I said, stop, that's not a mentor. You're coaching them. See, I want y'all to understand the difference between a mentor and a coach, and then I'm hushing and let you ask me the next question. So a mentor is someone that just fits you in when they can. You don't have a ongoing relationship, right? It's just like I might talk to you once every 6 months, and it's just a quick question, right? A coach is someone you have a contractual relationship with, meaning I'm going to talk to you every other week at this time, and we're going to work toward a predictable result. Well, Kristen was talking to people every other week, working with them, helping them get on TV. I said, baby, that's not a mentor. You're a coach. Okay, let's be clear. And let's charge for that because you're giving away your blood, sweat, and tears, all the time you put in, all the money you've paid to go through school, all the time you spent getting to where you got to in the industry, and you're giving it away for free.
And I was. And I was. That was a huge blind spot of mine. It was to really, really define and differentiate the difference between a mentor and a coach. I was coaching people from their point A all the way into a job.
Mm-hmm.
And it didn't take into account, my years, my college career, my expertise,
Mm-hmm.
my experience. It didn't take any of that into account. And the thing was, I wanted to reach more people. but I
And
couldn't
you
reach
loved
more
it.
people.
And the thing is, you loved it. So
I
you
have a
wanted to
passion
do
for
it.
it.
You didn't want to
Yes,
not do it. You loved it. It's like, hold on, no. You can still do it. I'm not saying don't do it. We just got to do it in a different way.
yes, yes. And now I'm reaching more people. I'm
Yep.
reaching more people by being able to turn it into a business because that's exactly what it is. I'm able to touch more people, I'm able to reach more people, especially by putting it online. And
Mm-hmm.
so, one of the things I want to talk to you about is that very thing, Nicole, is clarity. I didn't really have clarity. Strategy is so important.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So important. We must have strategy for everything that we do. And I just didn't have clarity on really, even though I was working with my ideal customer, I didn't have clarity on who that was, how to go after them. Um, I just didn't. How would you, tell someone
Mm-hmm.
how to get clarity?
So, I have to say this because this is what's kind of rumbling in my spirit as you're saying that. So last year, 2020 was hard, right? And so what I'm going to say is not for, has nothing to do with the people that have lost people. I want to have a moment of silence and give my condolences to you. But for the rest of us, God is intentional. He set our butts all the way down for us to get clear on why you are in this world. So if I use Kristen for an example, all of you that know Kristen, you know that she has a phenomenal gift. And so because of that, and because she'll give it effortlessly, right? But then what happens is you're exhausted.
Mm-hmm,
You're giving from
mm-hmm.
an empty cup. And I'm sharing that because last year, I believe, listen, we started last year, this time we were saying 2020 vision, it's 2020 vision. And then COVID happened. And
And
some of
God laughed. I
no,
was like, God laughed at that
no,
2020
listen,
vision.
I really think that God did be 2020 vision. He meant you to sit your butt down and get your vision right. That's what I
Yeah,
really think God meant,
need to
right?
get a
And so
God
some of
vision.
y'all came out right and get clear on why you're here and how to use the DNA, which is your distinct natural ability, how to use your DNA to be the answer you were born to be in this world.
Mm-hmm,
Okay. So some of y'all got blurry vision. Some of y'all haven't stopped long enough to get clear. And
mm-hmm,
so what the answer to your question is, because let me say it this way. Um, I had the pleasure of coaching Deborah Tillman. Some of you guys know Deborah Tillman. She is America's super nanny, right? Not the British one, the black one. And so same thing with you, but kind of opposite. So when she came to me, I met her at a conference and she was like, I need you. And I'm like, okay. And she's a super nanny. I'm like, how do you need me? You're making money. Well, she had the opposite issue. She couldn't take any more clients. And she was coaching people one-on-one. And here's the thing, when you only do what you do and you have to be present, you're already leaving money on the table. And so I
yeah,
did with Deborah Tillman the same thing I did with Kristen, the same thing I do with all my clients. We create a methodology from your brilliance, right? Because every morning when you wake up, Kristen, you don't say, oh, I think I want to be Kristen today. No, you're Kristen on autopilot, right? It's not like you're going to wake up tomorrow and say, I think I want to be Nicole. Yeah, that wouldn't work. Okay. So, or for me, trying to be Kristen, or dare I say, if Oprah tried to be me, the nerve, but yeah, it wouldn't work, right? So what I said to her on our first coaching, I saw this one curl is getting on my nerve, y'all. So if you see me doing this, I'm not being a diva. My curl is getting all in my face.
and you know
Um,
what, Nicole? I have to do something that's even more wild.
mhm.
I need to go get my charger for this computer. So just pause for just one
Look,
second. This
I'm
is
gonna keep
live
talking about
TV,
she'll
y'all.
get a charger. Look,
This is live. I need to go get the charger real quick so
okay,
that we don't get
this is real
disconnected.
talk, y'all. So listen, I'm gonna tell this story. Hey Ebony, I'm gonna tell this story real quick while she goes get the charger. So listen, so when Deborah came to me, opposite issue. She had tons of people, but she had to turn people down because she was traveling and some people couldn't afford her. So did the same thing I do with all my clients. And I said to her, we need to create a methodology. And Deborah said, well, I tailor the experience every time I work with a client. Yeah, that's not true. Because again, you are who you are everywhere you go. When you can get clear on your methodology, it shifts everything. So I gave her the same homework I give to all my clients. Second coaching call, she came back in tears. And I say that because she had no idea that she had been using a methodology. From that work, we created what she calls a global parenting system, the GPS. And now she has GPS online, she has GPS group programs. And here's the thing, it's not about making more money for her. And Kristen said this earlier, it's about not leaving transformation behind. So if there's a family that can't afford it, she cannot say, well, you can go through my online program or you can do my group program, right? So she can stop leaving people out because she has no more hours in her day. So
Yes.
that's really with clarity and really creating a methodology. And really, listen, if God was intentional with 2020, and I really know that God believe that God is a God of systems. If you don't believe me, read Genesis. Because everything he created, the solar system, hello, our body is a system. I can go on and on, okay? So if God has got a systems, he put a system inside of you that is your DNA, that is the answer to somebody's problem. And so it's really getting clear and creating that system so you can serve more and be more.
Yes. Y'all better listen. Somebody wants to pass the offering plate. I want to pass it. Because to your point, like about systems and how we need to have one, right? And how having one sets all of these things in motion, sets these things in course, and it connects the dots. So much of that clarity is about connecting the dots. Like you are doing something, but you need to connect the dots to a place where it becomes profitable.
Yeah. And here's the thing. So many people will say, go get together an online course. So you can put together an online course, but if it doesn't connect the dots. So when Kristen got the call from the school in Harlem, because she has a methodology, I want y'all to get this. Number one, it doesn't just speak to the program. When you're on the phone closing a deal, you can say, well, I have a 5-step process. Let me walk you through the steps I do, because you have a methodology that closes the deal. And then some people might not need all of your steps. You can say, well, you might just need step 2, but you got to get clear on what your methodology is. And so really having that shifts everything.
And that was the perfect part of the conversation with the Harlem Children's Zone, was that they said to me when I explained to them what the OnAir Academy was, they said, we want to buy it. That was the first thing they said, we want to buy your curriculum. And I was like, well, wait a minute, you mean you want to license it? This ain't fair. But it was laid out for them. They saw from start to finish, and it made it very clear to me, something that I had always envisioned when I created it was franchising it. How do I license this to other places? And so this became really my pilot for licensure for the course. And they're being able to reach even more people.
And you're not having to be present to reach all those people. Hello. Mm-hmm. And that's so important. Listen, we only have so many hours in a day. If you have to be present to do everything, you're already capping off how much money you can make. Right. So I want every person I get to work with, I want you to make money while you sleep, right? Yes. I remember once waking up and I have a client, it still trips me out that I have a client in Singapore. And I'm still like, how did you find me? She's like, online. And listen, when it's nighttime for her, it's daytime for me. So trust me, I didn't even, she worked through my program online. So, and then at the end, she wanted to talk to me. Well, of course you get to talk to me. You went through my program. We go figure out a time. And it ended up being really early in the morning for me and really late at night for her. But it was amazing to me that she still got results the same way that all the clients I'd worked with in the United States. And there's been other people overseas. But the point I'm making is you stop leaving transformation behind when you create a methodology.
Mm-hmm. Talk a little bit, Nicole, about, and because this was something that really, really helped me. You know, especially if you feel like you're really gifted, you got a lot of talents, God gifted you a lot of talent. Especially if you're one of those people, I think clarity may be even more difficult because you may feel like, well, I can do this or I can do that. But the question is, should you be doing that? Can you make money doing that? Is there a business in that? So talk a little bit about that.
Yeah. So, you know, what's interesting is all of us have multiple gifts, right? I always call it, now I'm gonna age myself. So I'm gonna give you 2 different examples depending on what age bracket you're in. So I would say there's Diana Ross and then there's the Supremes. Okay. So those of you, if I've aged myself, then there's Beyonce and then there's Destiny's Child. Okay. So you've got to be clear on what comes out in the front. See, what most people don't realize is a confused mind doesn't buy. Let me say that one more time because somebody just needed that. A confused mind doesn't buy. So if they're like, oh, I'm gonna go OnAir Academy. Oh, but I can also go and Kristen can show me how to put my clothes together. Oh, and I can, it's too much. They don't know what to come to you for. Now, I'm not saying you can't have multiple businesses, but when you start out, you've got to be known for one thing. See, when people come to your house, they don't walk through, listen, I want you to imagine right now, you're walking, look, I don't know what's going on with this necklace and wants to go around his boobs. So I keep trying to fix it. So anyway, imagine if you're walking up to, this called COVID, extra 5 pounds. That's probably really what that is.
You know what?
So anyway, let's say you walk up to somebody's house, okay? If they have 5 doors at that house, wouldn't you be like, well, what door do I go through? I don't know. So then if I were you, I would just go home. Like, I don't know what to do. I'd either call them like, girl, what door? Or I wouldn't go in. So some people start businesses and you're so all over the place that you're a jack of all trades, which means you're a master of none, right? So you've got to give 100% of your energy to one thing, develop it fully and completely. Let yourself be known in the industry for that one thing first. When you think of people like Oprah, or if I use for another example, Steve Harvey, because he's got 20 million jobs, right? So Steve Harvey was known as a comedian first, period. When you think of Steve Harvey, you think comedy first. So before he did anything else, he was really, really great at being funny. And then everything else, the radio show, the TV show, the Hoodie Awards, the Family Feud, all that came later, but his brand was known for one thing. So if I say to you American Express, you're probably thinking just do it. If I say Nike, you're probably thinking, well, I said Nike, just do
Right,
it.
no, Nike, just do it. Yeah.
American Expresses don't leave home without it, y'all. Listen, listen. I've been talking since 8 a.m. So look, I'm on like side tilt. But anyway, so get that. Your brand has to be known for one thing. And I think what happens with so many women, you have all these ideas. I'm not saying don't do them, but let's develop one fully and completely first. Let's put it out there and allow it to be known. And then in addition to that, if you're trying to decide which one, it ain't about you. You want to look at who or what is it that people are coming to you for the most. Even if you're like, I don't know about that. Well, listen, you already got people coming to you, which means you got customers waiting.
Right.
So doing this other thing, why don't you do the thing people are already asking you for? How about that?
That was breakthrough for me. That right there was breakthrough for me. And it also it helped me come up with an analogy of mine. I think about a tree trunk and the branches of a tree trunk or a tree, and how when I think about Oprah and Beyonce and, amazing brands, you think about that tree trunk. What is Oprah known for? She is still the queen of the interview. She's
Right.
still the queen. Like, she's getting ready to have this big interview, even now, with Prince Harry and Meghan Markle. Like, that is still
Her thing.
her thing. She owns that. She still owns that. I don't care who else does it. Oprah owns it. And she and all of these branches have come out of that place. So same thing with Steve Harvey. When you master that thing, then all of these branches from that tree trunk have the ability to grow and to sustain out of this tree trunk. And so it helped me to realize, like, what are you fully known for, Kristen? And for me, it's always going to be journalism. Like, journalism is the heart of who I am.
But you got so many other things going on, which is wonderful and brilliant. But when people walk through one door and they get to know you, they come in your house and go in every other room, but they got to walk through one door. I want y'all to get that. Now, I'm going to tell you, I got this epiphany 10 years ago when I was watching Beyonce, probably over 10 years ago. And I'm going to be honest with you, I was hating on her. I would say a little bit, but I'd be lying. I was hating on her a lot, okay? Because if I could sing, trust and believe, because I can dance, right?
Let me tell you, Nicole, if you could sing,
baby, you better know, because I can't sing a lick, okay? So I was watching, I was hating on her a little bit, and God dropped in my spirit, you have fears too. And I'm like, hold on, is that God talking to me while I'm watching Beyonce? So then I started saying, what do you mean, Lord? And here's what he began to show me. So Beyonce created Sasha Fierce. So keep in mind, she started this thing she does now at 9 years old. Now she's like 20. And I want you to understand, God, listen, one of my favorite quotes is deliberate mediocrity is a sin. Deliberate mediocrity is a sin. So what was drumming up in her was her next level, right? Because she had already, done the group thing, won Grammys, had that on lock, okay? So for her to grow her gift, it required her to go solo. Now, she had been on stage for a good 10 years plus years with two girls next to her. She had never been on stage by herself before. And so it was scary. And so in order for her to be this thing or do this thing that was drumming up in her spirit, which was the next level of her gift, which was the same thing for you, Kristen, you doing your OnAir Academy was the next level of your gift, right? She came up with this alter ego, Sasha Fierce. And Sasha Fierce literally allowed her to stand in the full power of her gift alone. So I want you guys to imagine what the world would look like if each and every one of us stood in the full power of our gifts and talents. Now, the thing that's interesting, she don't even refer to Sasha Fierce anymore. You know why? Because she's standing in the full power of her ability. She don't need her no more, right? But sometimes you need that little inkling, that little that little push to go into that next level of your gift. And I love to watch Beyonce. I love how you said the branches, because look at where she is. So first, she did her solo. Now, this ain't gonna be in order, y'all, so bear with me. Then some, she's like, it's like she's always outdoing herself. Then she did Lemonade. Yes. Then she did Coachella. I mean, all of them are next level. Then she just did Black is King. She is always constantly growing her gift.
Yes.
And so that's really what it is. It's deliberate mediocrity is a sin. So when you're selling for good enough, when you're being complacent, when you're not doing the thing that's rumbling inside of you to grow or to do this thing, you're sitting in mediocrity.
Mm. Now, all right, all right. I see the fumes. I see the fumes on this Zoom. I see the fumes on this
I
Facebook
got on me, but
Live.
look, listen, I might be saying this to you, but understand I learned a lesson first because God puts it in my spirit. So understand, look, I'm not pointing the finger at you, I'm pointing the finger at us.
I love that. My first lady says that. She was like, I'm pointing one at you, but it's three back at me.
Okay? And that's real. Everything I'm telling y'all is a lesson I've learned because at some point I was being mediocre. At some point, listen, I've been doing this for 28 years. Ooh, how old am I? I've been doing this for 28
29.
years. Hello, right? So literally, it took me 17 years to get a clue. 17 years to realize I was playing small. And at the time, I was a university professor. So I want you guys to get this. It doesn't matter about your title. Listen, I often say God doesn't come. He's not checking your resume. He's not checking your title. He's not checking your bank account. He's checking your faith. And when he's coming for your next level, it's going to come up a whole nother level of you. And so that's why I love watching you, Kristen, because you are always doing stuff. I'm like, this girl right here, like, where'd she get her faith from? I want to go to that store, right? Because you are always pushing yourself to the edge of your next level. And then you go out and do it. It's like, yes, I love it.
Thank you, girl. And I mean, listen, but clearly it doesn't happen it doesn't happen alone.
Yeah.
I have needed you, coaches, you need support systems. You need people cheering you on. You need skills. And I think, one of the things that we should all be open to, like you said at the very beginning, is investing in ourselves.
Yeah.
It is not enough to have an idea. It's just not enough. It's not enough to have an idea and decide you're going to launch out there and do it. Having an idea is just the beginning.
Yeah.
The Bible says that plans fail for lack of counsel.
Come on.
And so it matters that you go seek wisdom. Yeah. Wisdom can save you money, it can save you time, and place you where you're going to go. I mean, I just posted, I think it was last week, about my business's anniversary, because I started Pope Productions in 2014. I ain't really started making money until last year. And so some of that was because I hadn't ever had a business coach, not until 2017. I hadn't really had strategy. There were some things that I just lacked. Although talented, although great ideas, but that is not enough to connect all of the dots and point you in the right direction. And we have to humble ourselves enough to say, listen, I need help.
Yeah.
There are some things that I just don't know. Yeah. And that going quote, you don't know what you don't know. But if you at least would go and seek out some answers from experts like Nicole, who has done this successfully, I'm here to testify. And there are so many other women who have the same, if not similar stories as mine. Nicole, you told me something about a coaching program that you took that you were like, you flat out at the time could not afford it.
Ooh, yes. Okay, let me tell you the story. This is good. You got to hear the background real quick. So listen, again, I told you I've been doing this for 28 years. So I'm 17 years in. Okay, so I started in 1993. By 2010, my business had got to the place I dreamed of. So back then I had a for-profit and a nonprofit. So in my nonprofit, I was working with African-American teenage girls. I had 10 chapters in 10 cities throughout the country, and we were growing by leaps and bounds. In my for-profit, coaching women just like y'all, I had a maxed out coaching client roster, meaning I couldn't take another client. So I wrote my first book in 2010, thinking that's my fourth book, by the way, thinking that I would give my principles to women since I couldn't take any more clients, and it could be a fundraiser for my nonprofit. But when that book came out, I started getting invitations to speak all over the country. So I'm telling you guys that because I want you to get that I have finally made it. I was like, yes, I'm doing it. However, I was only making $13,000 a year in my business. So when I tell you I'm passionate about teaching women, this is because I too was broke. Okay. Brilliant and broke. Okay. So I remember it was November 7th, 2010, and I had just gotten home from another speaking weekend. And by the way, my daytime job, because I had a daytime job because you can't eat on $13,000. So my daytime job, I was a professor at Boston University. And I hadn't looked at my syllabus. I hadn't created lecture notes. I hadn't read the chapters in the books I told my students to read. And I was tired. I was done. It's like, I can't do this anymore. And I prayed, Lord, if this is really you, if this is really my purpose, you better show me something. And so in that, now I didn't write this down because I didn't realize my breakthrough was coming. I don't know if this happened the next day or the next week, but I heard about a conference, paid for that conference. I live in Boston. Conference was in California. Conference cost 500. My plane ticket cost 500. My hotel cost 1,500. I couldn't afford it, but I couldn't afford not to do it. I got to that conference, and as Kristen just alluded to, I met my first coach. Now, up until that point, let me tell y'all, I had only invested sweat equity in my business, right? So what I mean by that is I kept saying, well, I'm gonna work 2 extra hours at night when I get home. Ooh, okay, I'm gonna work half day Saturday. Okay, I'll work all day Saturday. I kept adding more hours doing the same thing. And isn't doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result, isn't that the definition of insanity?
Mhm.
Right? So anyway, so I realized I had taken myself as far as I could take myself. So I realized I had to invest cash equity. So listen, my first coach, she cost $30,000. 30. Oh, and I signed up for her mastermind too. So I really spent over 50. Ooh, my husband had lost. Ooh, he was done with me because my business only.
Girl, I'm thinking about Richard Pope right now. Woo.
Okay. So I said to Daryl, I'm gonna be honest. I said, the money's not gonna come out of this house, out of this household. I can't even say it now, right? I didn't know how the heck I was gonna pay for it. I didn't know, but I also knew I can't do this like this anymore. And I'm gonna tell you, in my first coaching session, my coach went all the way in the same way I'm telling you guys that you have blind spots. She showed me my blind spots. I had been overlooking my own brilliance. That day, I went home and created listen. I had a methodology I had used as a professor. I had been a consultant going into other people's businesses using this methodology that I now teach people. And I didn't realize, hello, Nicole, you have a methodology, duh, right? And so my business within 6 months went from $13,000 to over 200,000 just by that needlepoint shift. And so that's why I'm so passionate about what I teach. Because listen, it wasn't that I wasn't brilliant. Listen, I've taught at 2 prestigious universities, USC for 5 years, and then I came here and I didn't even apply for neither job. USC called Boston University. The dean of the school called the other school. And I'm like, how did you know I was here? And I'm not saying it to brag. I'm saying that because you can be brilliant. You could have your name on every list. You could have all the seats at all the tables and still be clueless at something. And that was me.
Bro.
So I hired that coach.
And so, yes, I wanted you to tell that story because I'll be honest with you. At the time that I invested in your course, Nicole, I was like, I don't know. This is a little risky. I don't know. But I can say today that I've made that investment back and then some.
And then some,
yeah. Over and over and over again. And so it matters investing in yourself. And what you said was spot on. You had gone as far as you could go on your own with what you knew. And at that point, when you're not getting the results that you need to go seek it out from someone else. Listen, I am not the DIY girl. I know that there are a lot of people who are the DIY. I am not the DIY.
Okay. Right.
And you have said before, and there's nothing wrong with the DIY. It's just not me. I'm not the DIY, DIY.
Let me be honest with y'all. How many of you guys have a free book? All the free webinars you've been on and you print out all the handouts. I had a whole notebook of free, which when you do it yourself, you don't know how to implement it. So I had tons of great free stuff, but I didn't know what to do with none of that.
No, and you know what? And it's like, this is not the same as an eyelash or eyebrow tutorial. It's just not the same. It ain't the same. And so, you said, listen, if LeBron James has a coach and this person over here has a coach, and this person over here, has a coach, and they're the best, and they've had coaches forever, why shouldn't you have a coach? And we've got to start thinking about it that way, right? Like, why shouldn't you have a coach if all of these other people who are at the top of their game, at the height of their game,
right,
have coaches?
Look, even Oprah, y'all remember when she left her show and she started the network? How many of you guys remember how horrible the network was the first year?
For the first 2 years.
It was like the lowest of the lowest networks. Do you know what Oprah did? And I read this in an article, so I haven't met Oprah yet, so she didn't tell me this yet, right? I'll get the story.
But we're going to meet her.
Right, we're going to meet her. So listen, she went and called one of the best networks and called the president and said, I need your help. She got a coach, y'all. Mm-hmm. Okay, I want you to be clear. He coached her. When you look at OWN is my favorite network now.
Faith.
Okay?
Faith.
Look, Queen Sugar starting tonight, so we're going to off soon. So look, but I want y'all to get this. It was the horrible. Had Oprah not reached out, now mind you, I know her friends were like, girl, go back and do your TV show. Go back over there and do your TV
show. And Oprah was honest. She was humble. She said, it's one thing to create an hour's worth of television per day. It's another to create 24 hours of content and television every day of the week. That was something she did not know how to do.
Yeah. But yet again, that's that rumble inside of you, God calling you to your next level. That's that, look, deliberate mediocrity is a sin. So as she stayed in her TV show, that would have been her being deliberately mediocre because that's comfortable. And your comfort zone is where your dreams go to die. Listen, nothing great comes in comfort. So her pushing herself, and then look, she took a huge risk and bombed the first 2 years.
Yep.
I know her friends are like, girl, go back. Girl, you know your show. You know people miss your show. You know you can go back. She was like, I'm gonna figure this out. I got help.
Yeah. That's good. That's good. Nicole, is there anything else that we should be talking about? I'm gonna go look. I'm gonna look on Facebook right now and see if we have any questions.
Carla said, Queen Sure is coming on. So listen, those of you that know that I'm gonna say this fast. Your comfort zone is where dreams go to die, right, Ebony? To live in mediocrity is a sin. Yes, Jessica. So listen.
Oh, I love Ebony. I love Ebony. Hey, Eb.
So for those of you that know, now is your time. I'm excited because last year, so typically I do an event in the fall called Be the Answer. And last year when COVID happened, I had to shift and do it virtual. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I am high touch. I go all the way in. And this is not a conference with a bunch of speakers, it's me coaching you. So I'll be honest with you, I was afraid I wasn't gonna be able to do it virtual. I wasn't gonna be able to see people, and really help you have a breakthrough in a virtual room. Well, it was phenomenal, dare I say. And so because of that, and because I got so much great feedback, we decided to do it again in March. So those of you that know that now is your time, whether you're looking to start your business or grow your business, but let me be clear, this is only for those of you that are looking to grow a service-based business. So accountants, lawyers, if you're a coach of any kind, if you're a real estate agent, a event professional, people that want to use your brilliance, your intellectual property to move someone's life or business forward, this is for you. If you have a product-based business, you want to sell cell phone covers, you want to sell pens, you want to sell clothes, I can't help you unless, I have a client that's a lipstick applicator line who said, oh, you can't help me. I love a challenge, by the way. I said, yeah, I can. I said, how many people call you to pick your brain? She said, oh, a lot. I said, about what? She said, oh, manufacturing. Hello, you realize you're giving away your intellectual property for free. Let's create a manufacturing program. So if you're willing to look outside of the box and you sell makeup or some hard product thing, get your butt in the room. Now, because Kristen is my sister girl, and because I love what I do so much, we got something special for you. So by the way, it's called Be the Answer. You can learn more about it at betheanswerevent.com. I'll write it in the chat in a minute. So Kristen has a special code for you. So listen, all of you that are in her tribe, for 10 of you, $100 off. All you need to do is what? They inbox you or send you an email. What do you want them to do?
They can send me an email. They can inbox me. However they get to me, it's fine.
So, and ask her what the code is. Now, listen, y'all need to hurry up and to get this code, right? So listen, whether you're watching it now, you're watching a replay, don't think, oh, dang, I missed it. You don't know if 10 people reached out to Kristen, right? And the reason I'm doing this is because it's my life's calling to make sure you get in alignment with your God-given assignment. And so in order to do that, one of the things I've asked my sister girls to do, I'm gonna be transparent. Look, God on me that, look, well, no, not even God. One of my clients said she prayed about me. This is real talk. Her name is Karen. So Karen, if you watch this, girl, I'm talking about you. She said, I'm mad at you. And I was like, well, what did I do? We're on a culture call. And I'm like, oh, Lord, so I started looking through her notes. What did I do wrong? She said, it took me too long to find you. You like a best kept secret. I said, okay. So she said, people need to know about you. And she said, I've been praying about it and God just keeps putting that in my spirit. So what I did was I started reaching out to my girlfriends like, hey, will you do a Facebook Live with me? So that's why we're here, because I'm committed to serve as many women as I can this year. That's my big commitment for 2021. So whether it's you, if you know a sister girl that wants to start a business, share this. There's a share button somewhere down. Share this to your tribe, because there might be people in your tribe you don't even know want to start a business. And if you get your butt in the room, you come in. I'm coming full to pour all the way into you.
And y'all, I just want to tell you, Nicole pours everything that she has. She is so passionate. You can get a glimpse of her passion in this moment that we're having right now, but it is nothing like being in a room with her. She's so passionate about this. And I'm here to testify. Like, I am one of her clients. I've gone through her, program. I invested and I have made that money back multiple times. Right. So it is worth it. I have the proof. I have the absolute proof. And I love what she said about sharing this, because you may not even know that there's somebody in your tribe who wants to start a business. Oftentimes we share these with people who, who already have a business or who have a business idea. And that's wonderful.
Right.
People who have businesses need this. But there may be someone who just is, like, I was thinking about starting this business. I didn't know where to start.
You need
This
to be
is
in the
going to help
room.
me. This is going to help me do that.
Because I'm gonna walk you through whether you're just starting or you've been in business for years. We're gonna get you clear, because some of y'all think you clear. Ooh, I'm gonna step on your toes, but you're not. So literally in that day, we start with getting you clear. We walk through and I teach you. I don't believe in marketing. I call it optimizing, because how do we optimize your gift and get you in front of the right people the right way so they're ready to buy from you? And then we create 6 revenue streams in the room, day 2, right? And then you leave with a plan. How many times have you been to a conference, or dare I say church, on Sunday, and you might say, "Ooh, pastor was good." Then somebody say, "Oh, what did he or she talk about?" And you're like, and you can say the title, but that's because they didn't give you anything to implement, so you don't remember. So that's why I wanted you to walk away with a plan. You also get a workbook. Oh, I thought I had my workbook here. So I ship a swag box to your house. This is virtual, so you get everything, and you don't even have to leave your house. Plus, yes, we do networking. You get an online program when you register. It's so much. Go to betheanswerevent.com, see everything you get, and then make sure you email Kristen to get the $100 off code so you can come. It's $200.
And so, because it's online, you guys, that means that, people from the West Coast to the Caribbean
Right.
can be a part of this. And that's what makes this, that's another reason why it makes this so special.
Yeah. 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 So this is so good. So anybody, look, any of y'all have questions out of here? I'm happy to
Any
answer.
questions? Yes, any questions? Please take advantage of this opportunity. Take advantage of Nicole.
And just come in the room. All you got to do is get in the seat. I promise you, that's all you have to do. Even if you don't know where to begin, I got you. If you aren't sure what your purpose is, I got you. Even if you've been in business for 10 years and it's not working, I got you. What I walk you through in that room will move your business forward, right? And I don't lie, because let me explain to you. I'm not accountable to Kristen. I'm accountable to God.
Amen.
And so I want y'all to get that. So if you know, like, now's your time. I look forward to serving you March 12th and 13th in 3 weeks, 3 weeks from this weekend, right?
March 13th.
12th and
313,
13th. Yep.
y'all.
Mm-hmm.
So less
It's
than
a
a
Friday.
month from now. Get your tickets. Don't miss this opportunity. Invest in yourself. Bet on yourself. It's a wonderful, wonderful opportunity. And it's a wonderful opportunity for the other people who are going to be in the room to get to know you and to get to know your business. For all you know, there's clients going to come to this place, clients of yours, and just getting there positions you in front of some people that you may not even know need your business.
Yep. Yep. And you meet your next accountability partner. Listen, I
Yes.
met my business bestie at a conference like this. She and I signed up for that same coach. She's been my friend ever since. And I talked to her. Well, she just texted me right before I started this Facebook Live. To be honest with you, she's one of my really good friends now, right? Because listen, I have wonderful girlfriends, but all my friends aren't entrepreneurs. Kristen is, but all my friends aren't. So there's some things you can't talk to your girlfriends about, not because they don't love you, but they can't help you. They can go to happy hour with you, right? But they can't help you with business strategy. So that's another reason why I hold this room small. So you meet, and yes, even virtually, we do networking activities. You will meet people in this virtual room. So listen, again, betheanswerevent.com. Yes, Jessica, I can't wait to coach you. And to not Jessica, that says Ebony. See, my contacts active.
Ebony Wyatt is fierce.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I am to shout out to Ebony. Ebony Wyatt is fierce. I met Ebony Wyatt at the Rise conference in Rhode Island in 2018. Ebony was a keynote speaker. She was one of the keynote speakers, and she was phenomenal. She is our sister Greek. She is a fabulous Delta girl, and she is phenomenal. She is an executive in Minneapolis, just slaying it, launching out in her public speaking business, which is just amazing. She was teaching a course. Ebony, put in the chat, what was the name of your course? It was Badass Brand. I think it was.
Let me say something about being a speaker too. Let me tell y'all something, okay? And I'm saying this to Ebony, but this is for all of y'all, because I get so many people that come to me and say they want to be a speaker. Okay, that's great. But after 45 minutes or 60 minutes with you, it's irresponsible for you not to have another way for people to work with you. Because after that 45 minutes or 60 minutes, you can't do but so much transformation. Like right now, this little 45 minutes, I can't do but so much, right? It's irresponsible for you not to have another way for them to work with you. And so that's one of the reasons why, Ebony, you need to be in a room, right?
And I've hated that. I've hated like going to, but I will say this. This is when I talked to you about this, Nicole. I was like, now I understand why people write books. who do conferences, because you need a way to continue that experience. You need a way to tag along. You need a way to continue to experience and work with that person, even if they're not with you. So I get the point of a book. But
the book is not even enough, because you can't help anybody with a book. It gives you great information, but somebody's gonna need a question answered.
Yes. And I would hate leaving conferences feeling like, oh my gosh, you just got so much, but now like it's over. And there's no way to continue that. And meanwhile, that's not for everybody, but for the people who do need it, the people that do need it, there should be something that you can extend to that person to continue the transformation that has begun, but clearly is going to fizzle out if you don't continue that interaction.
Because again, deliberate mediocrity is a sin. So what you've done is let that person be mediocre. You showed them what was possible. It's like, it's like telling your kids, those of you that have kids, we're going to Disneyland, and you take them to the library. It's like, hold on, wait a minute, this ain't Disneyland, right? But that's what you did when you showed them what was possible, but you didn't teach them how to get there. Deliberate mediocrity is a sin. I just listen. I saw that quote maybe about a month ago. I say that over and over. And Kristen knows I love me some quotes. Kristen said one time, and those of you that come to Be the Answer, you're gonna hear me say this over and over. It'd be the answer. The tools you've used on this level are not sufficient for your next. Bishop A.R. Bernard. I actually got that from Kristen, not from Bishop, but I quote the Bishop, but I got that from Kristen.
That was his quote. That was his quote.
But that's what this is. Listen, when God showed me the reason my business fell for 17 years, I kept using the same tools that helped me. Listen, I had worked with heads of state. I had worked with celebrities by then. And I was like, I should know how to do this, but I didn't. I needed new tools. And it was the new tools that helped me really shift everything.
You need new tools on every level. And those new tools don't always come from a self-help this, a YouTube that. Sometimes they come from experts. Other experts who've already ascended to that level and already have those tools worked out, used in their toolbox.
Yep.
And so you get to now use the tools. You get to be handed down the tools that someone else has already mastered.
Yes. So good. That's so good.
So y'all, the invitation is out there. I feel like this is the benediction. This is at church. We have put the invitation out there. Your heart is so moved. You should take advantage of this opportunity. Be the answer, because you are somebody's answer. Reach out to me for the discount code. I will make sure that you get it so that you can be there on March 13th with Nicole.
12th and 13th. She keeps saying 13th. It's 2 days, y'all. 12th
and 12th and the 13th. So the 12th and the 13th is 2 days virtually. You can join from your couch, from your living room, and be there.
Yes, you have to send Kristen an inbox. She said, perfect, thank you. She just asked, do we have the code, or should we email? Let me tell you why we're not saying the code out loud, because I want to bless a woman that takes action, right? Yeah. And so Kristen ain't gonna do nothing to you when you reach out to the code. She's gonna give you the code. She's not gonna like put you to the side and terrorize you, none of that. But I always want to bless a woman that takes action. So yes, I'm making you take an extra step to get $100 off, because I want the woman that's in action. Because listen, deliberate mediocrity, I'm kidding, but God only calls people that are busy. So if you look at all the disciples, they were busy. So we're making you take an action to get the code, because I want the activated woman to be in the room. Because listen, when I teach you, you're gonna have to be in action in the room to implement it, because I'm coaching you live. So I want to make sure the right people are in the room, and it's only the women that take action that can be in the room.
All right. Well, we're activated, y'all. We are activated. I know the ladies who were on this live were activated. Nicole, thank you for allowing me to host you. This was wonderful. Yes. This is a treasure for me and a treat for me. And actually, it gets me reinvigorated about things that I need to do, things that I need to keep up on this year, that I need to be focused on. Those are different additional revenue streams. So I'm excited. I'm excited about being the answer. And we're just grateful to all of you all. And we shall see you all soon. Those of you who are active and activated.
Thank you, Kristen. I love you, girl. I miss you.
Love you. Miss you too.
Bye, y'all. I look forward to serving some of y'all to Be the Answer.